Started.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the breakdown. This is the show where we take our latest game and we break down the facts of the game. We break down the plays, who was the man of the match, and this is where we really get down into the real details of everything. And we have on the show today, we have Mr. Alan. How you doing, man?
All right, all right. Good
And
to be on today.
Mr. Ghana. What going on, myself?
Yo, yeah.
All right. Well, guys, we had to get up very early this morning to see our third game. 3 games in preseason, 3 games won. So I have to ask the question: are we gonna win the league? Cause I seen other fans, getting carried away. I saw those guys in Arsenal, getting carried away now, So I had to ask the question: 3 games, 3 wins. Are we gonna win the league? Yes, no. Take us
It's
now,
a stretch. It's a stretch. It's a stretch.
I
But
think we'll win a cup competition.
Yeah.
but
Well,
from
all
the way
right.
we're looking, from the way we're
Mm-hmm.
looking, it's always had this. Not always. It had these situations where you're not expecting something and out of the blue it happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be us winning the league
All
because we
right.
actually do
Right.
look good. We're
Mm-hmm.
looking good, and as I
Mm-hmm.
said before to some other persons before coming on, if we could maintain the way we're looking in the preseason
Yeah.
throughout the season, we
Mm-hmm.
definitely is there. We definitely there. We could fight for it. It's
All
something
right.
that you can fight for, and anything is possible in light of the fact that you have it's a World Cup year and
Mm-hmm.
you have 5 subs this year, so
Mm-hmm.
it's more than just a starting five. Is it's more than just a fast starting 11. Sorry, it's squad depth is what's going to really make a difference here.
All
You know,
right.
so anything is possible. But I
Okay.
mean, even in light of us looking all this well, this good I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we have some good contenders in the back outside of
All right.
the regular favorites. We have teams like
Mm-hmm.
Tottenham who not looking like they're playing themselves. So
All right.
whoever win this league, I think the winner of this league here need to get a different color title, boy. This title, no, this title gonna be real sticky. I done
Yeah.
seen Conte had them fellas had them looking a certain way. So
Mm.
yeah, but we looking real good, I must say.
Yeah.
I haven't seen some of our players look like this since they
Yeah.
first came to the club.
Mm. Mm.
See the
Yeah.
Well.
understanding his philosophy, not cut across, but you understanding Ten Hag philosophy. You understand how to play the football simple. You
Yeah.
understand and play as a team. Because
Mm.
remember when he came in, that was his first interview where he said he want everybody to be eating, sleeping, breathing, talking football
Mm-hmm.
amongst itself. It's no click here and click there. Those
Mm.
days done. You
Not
understand?
anymore.
It
Not
come like you're
anymore.
bringing back the Alex Ferguson era in a sense when
Mm-hmm.
he came in, he changed over the culture that he met. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? It's strictly football. He himself
Mm-hmm.
only thought, as I was hearing, some of the media was saying that that Eric Ten Hag kind of tamper the media appearances and stuff. You understand? To concentrate mostly on training because
Mm-hmm.
according to him is the only time that they will actually get chance to really train and put things into place.
All
How
right.
he put it for the starting of the season. Now the
Mm-hmm.
season might be shaky or the season might go with flowing football. Because I don't know if you can remember a couple of years ago. I think it was I don't know if it was on the Marino. I think it was on the Marino where they was calling them 4FC, Manu 4FC, because they
Yeah.
was only
Mm-hmm.
scoring in about
Yeah,
four
yeah, yeah, yeah.
matches, they score 4 goals each.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And they're showing that same potential of having a good start to the season. You understand? It's just for them to get things in place and connect all the dots in the front thirds. You understand? Well, he bring in Lissandro. Guys to more or less bring the ball forward from out of the back, wherever position he playing, whether it's a destroyer in the middle. But I don't see Ten Hag concentrating on that position really. He
Right.
want to make sure he defends tight. The midfield go do the work with Ericsson. If he get De Jong, as I say, them go do the work. The bulk of the
Right.
work.
Right.
Martinez is one of the best ball playing centre backs in Europe. So if when he comes, he don't need to play six. And from all the reports, he hasn't looked well as a six in the experiment that they tried with him playing as a six. So he would play as a centre back, and he would help bring the ball forward because he's very good at it. So even if we don't get Frankie, we will have a Martinez assisting in bringing the ball forward because he's comfortable with the ball on his feet. So he'll be able to help bring the ball forward as well now.
All right.
All
right. Good afternoon.
The fridge can stay back.
Oh God. Hey, well, good afternoon to Hayden. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, good afternoon, guys. I'm in a challenge. You see me moving around.
Yeah.
I know what
no problem. Well, all right. Well, good afternoon to everyone in the comments to Martin Phillip. And yes, I mean, yes, it's good to dream, right? It is. But I don't know. I am not gonna put my hat in that ring until I see something concrete. But now to the game itself. Let's start off, in the first half. Ten Hag had his I guess his more or less full strength team. He had De Gea in the back. He had Malacia on the left, Lindelof and Maguire, and he had right. He had Scott and Fred, Bruno in the middle, and that front three. So I have to ask you guys, from that first half, I mean, how do you think that the guys really performed? Because now, yes, we did score, which was good, but do you think that the guys really had control of the game in the first half? I'll start with you, Darren.
Well, for me, in the first half, we were exceptionally well. Out of character, not the United I've seen in the past few seasons. It was the ball was recycling very often. And even if Crystal Palace do get the ball to reach close to the half line, one of our defenders recycling the play. And prior to the goal that Martial scored, he had an opportunity to score before that.
Right.
And I don't know, Martial like a bat out of hell. He can't watch up on his shoulder. He has something to prove. The guy just different. The man actually, I never thought I am actually on record saying if anybody's to improve, it will be Rashford instead of Martial. And it looking like if I might have eat my words. Because Martial, wow. Now it's just preseason, so I really hope I really hope he keep what he doing into the season. But based on what I've seen so far, it's gonna be a very interesting season.
Now, I'll give you guys some stats, right? For the game itself, we had 64% possession over Crystal Palace. We had 14 shots on goal, 7 on target, 525 passes. I mean, it kind of seems to me that the Ten Hag philosophy, like these guys have really brought in, they have really brought into his system, because you were like, I was seeing a lot of, as I said, teamwork. I was seeing a lot of possession football. I was seeing guys hunting in packs. The thing was, they lose the ball, they get back the ball. They recycle the play. There was no panic. There was no side to side, back to the here. It was very like it was like guys who knew what
they were
their
doing.
plan was. I don't know. I mean, I'd ask you, how did you find that the guys really perform like as a team itself, as a whole?
Well, as I say, the starting 11 was more or less a 11 that would normally start for Manchester United, in the exception of Malasia.
Mm.
Because to me, it looked like he trying to bed in Malasia instead of Luke Shaw this season.
Mhm.
Because Malasia is a person who's get forward up, and he was more or less around 18-yard box most of the game while he was on for the 77 odd minutes that he was on the field. So that just goes to show that that team could be more or less the starting team for the season. And possession wise, he was saying to the Man United um media personnel that up there on the tour that the pressing, the triggers, they didn't get the triggers yet. The timing of it off still, and he wants to work on that. So that's why you will see them keep pressing high to win back the ball as quick as possible to have the team on balance now, the opposing team on balance. But all in all, they have their rhythm. It looks like they're getting their rhythm. Everybody's trying to support everybody, and as you said just now, hunting packs.
Mm.
You understand? But they're just saying they ain't have it done pack yet. You understand? It's still a process with them.
It's not
It
a
take
size
21
yet.
days to form a habit. So.
Yeah, well, I was saying, the more you practice, put it into practice, it will come.
Mm.
You understand? It will come. And now you see when Donny came on and more two in the second half,
Mhm.
Donny changed the whole dimension of the press.
Mhm.
They was winning more balls. They had more possessions where Crystal Palace had to keep fouling them.
Right.
They wasn't holding that possession much.
Mhm.
You understand? As soon as the youths and them came on, well, you see, well,
Yeah.
everything Crystal Palace get the advantage because, as I
Mhm.
say, that more or less
Correct.
like a second 11 or third 11.
Mhm.
You know?
Now, I would say, right, that again, we did face a Palace team with only one real recognizable starter. So I'm not saying that that we can all hype up or hype because we're not. But what I like that I saw is that you saw the pattern go for Martial. Now, Hayden, I'd ask you, how impressed were you that the fact that our goal came from our two wide left back and right back?
You're not meeting Mike.
Right. Okay. Like as I was telling Charlie today, I haven't yet seen the game, right? But what I have been doing is following the reports coming out of Manchester United and all the breakdown, all the interviews, all the players they're speaking to. And you were just mentioning about not playing a full strength Crystal Palace. But to me, from the reports I've read so far, Ten Hag is not concerned about the opposition. He's concerned about his team working the system that he wants them to play. Right? Win or
Exactly.
lose he doesn't really seem to it doesn't really seem to matter to him. He just wants to be in there, getting the guys doing exactly what he wants, how he wants it. Yes, it's producing goals so far. Yes, we need to be seeing the victories. But like you said earlier, Robert, I'm not counting it yet until the season starts. But from the reviews and all the interviews that I've read upon coming out of Manchester United, because I subscribe to them, it seems as if Ten Hag is getting the system that he wants to play. It's just a matter of fine tuning it and getting the guys more accustomed with it. And as Darren just said, 21 days to make a habit, right? So hopefully, as we move along, that pattern and system of play would become the norm for them. My only concern is that I haven't seen too many of the younger ones come out as yet from United. And that's my little concern. Right? So somebody, oh gosh, this guy with the full head of hair, can't remember his name right now.
Iqbal?
The young.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Iqbal or Hannibal? That Hannibal.
The one who's, Hannibal. It's Hannibal. Right? I haven't seen those guys coming out yet and working into the system. And I think Ten Hag needs to get those guys into some game practice too, to see how they fit into the system. Right? And not just from his perspective of how they fit, but how they fit into it.
That is something that we will get into when we discuss the second half.
Right.
Talking about the drop-off. But going back to that first Martial goal, anybody could chime in. The fact that I saw, again, it was wide play, not from the wingers, but from our two fullbacks. It was one cross from last year, who I feel, this is me, I think Luke Shaw has lost his place again. I feel so. I feel this boy came to this team and said, you know what? This spot is mine. And he claimed it. He claimed it.
Malacia done replaced him already?
Yeah, already. So Luke had to now move back himself back into the team. But I love the fact that went from one side to the next fullback, not across. Martial control goal, and it looked like we were watching Liverpool play, Man City play. It looked like guys who actually knew how to play football and not. And what amazes me is that these are the same fellas who just in May could not kick a ball to save their life. This is May, and we are now in July. So anybody could chime in. I mean, how did you all like that Martial goal?
Yeah, that goal was extremely impressive. I mean, you basically broke it down there. And if you watch, as you rightfully say, all the teams that dominated and playing football that is entertaining throughout the league, the style of play in modern football comes from your wing backs.
Yeah.
Nobody plays with a left back or a right back. They play with wing backs. If it was Chelsea, Liverpool, City, they all have wing backs. Reece James, Trent, Robertson, they all play with wing backs. So you need to have a player that on that wing that could both defend and go forward. And seeing Malacia do what he did was quite refreshing. And watching him play throughout the game, seeing them go forward, seeing them attacking, it's quite refreshing to see, because I was surprised how so instinctively he just found Dalot so effortlessly. Normally when I see Luke on that side trying to whip in the ball, he just played it into open space.
We
literally saw Malacia lift his head and immediately found Dalot. And put it on Dalot.
It wasn't an aimless pass. It was not a pass in the hope.
Yeah. And that was Dalot's to score. But Dalot realized it was more productive to push out and whip it over, and Martial's finish was a number 9's finish. I can clearly remember saying a number of times, Martial is not a number 9, but today he proved me wrong. That is a number 9 finish. Chest, boom, one time. That was it was really, really, really refreshing. And it got me excited because, if we could do this, if this let us get back to this form.
Right.
The dead or
Good afternoon to everyone in the comments. Good afternoon to Greg and to Mark. Keep those comments coming in. Now again,
Robert,
I'm looking
at
go ahead.
I'm looking at Greg's comment right there on the screen. Darren, you think that is exactly the mentality that they had? That's why May we saw one thing and now July we seen something totally different. It says everybody And for them down the tools.
Yeah, well, from all reports or everything that I read, the guys they knew that Ragnick was not going to be a long term in appointment.
Arrangement.
So they
Right.
they were just going emotions and they just wherever, however, we're going to do the next season, wherever, you know. So now that they have Ten Hag, and Ten Hag, from all reports, is a dictator. He down to the simplest thing. We have a video with him literally yelling at the hair and cursing him, asking him what he doing. You understand? And we was up.
Yeah,
He's a control freak, and he admitted to it. So you know these guys, they know they have to perform, and if you don't perform well, all right, no problem. You'll sit them on the bench. January we'll get rid of you. So no, he's not on that. He's not on that. He's not. And the man say he knows that the club is a big club and they want results now. So he not looking to wait and set up and no, he looking for results now. So these guys have to perform and they understand that, and they can clearly see that they understand the level of urgency because the way they play, they're playing like their life depends on it.
You have to understand the real test is against the top 6 teams, or the top 5 teams who are above us, because we finished in 6th position. You understand? So the top 5 teams, we have to show them that we mean business. You understand? And these other managers know once Ten Hag gets his system and the players playing how is supposed to play according to total football, they know Manchester United would be dangerous. You understand? They don't matter who the opposition is, because based on the last game where they played the Australian team, that was a typical low block, lower table team, how they set up. So it goes to show with patience and with a skillful person in the midfield, they could unlock the defense. That is why a person like Eriksen or himself a person like De Jong is very important. Right? Eriksen especially, because Eriksen accustomed to that. He played in that Premier League against teams who's set up like that. So you have your playmaker there to unlock low block teams. You understand? Who are 2 banks are 4 or 5, whatever the case is. You understand? And then you have a style now where you're pressing teams like Liverpool, where they're running at you from start to finish. So you have to compete with them with stamina and your possession of football to counteract them. You have to have the counter press. You understand? To break their press when they come in. You know, and transition that into the proactive football as he talk about to get things happening. You just play your football, you know. Things will happen once you run in the right spaces and do your thing. You know, you see a teammate, he might be the better pass it to him. Don't go for glory. Not all the time you have to go for glory. Sometimes, you know, according to they say, you're good but you just have to know when to beat, when it's absolutely necessary. But if you have a teammate, and that is something for a good team, everybody is being involved. It's a team sport, not a me sport. If you understand what I'm saying. And I seeing that is what he's trying to develop, where everybody on one page and nobody is bigger than and this one and that one. He's not the main man. Everybody is main man, because without you, I can do my thing. Then he's trying to get that togetherness from inside the dressing room, from when they're eating and whatnot and thing. You know, when they're just lining together and nothing clicks, as I say before. Nothing clicks. You want everybody to be friends, so everybody can be on the same wavelength. When you feel that play, fighting for one another, supporting one another. If a man having a bad game, you know, you can pick
the band phones in the eating area, you know.
Yeah.
That was it.
You have to,
When you're on work, You understand? Let me do the government business. It had time for leisure after. You understand? But when you're down to business, when you start work, we working for the 90 minutes. Understand? During the training and all too, men have to be pushing one another for all the right reasons. Not to be slagging a man behind the back or talking to the media out of time and all of that too. The culture changing. You understand? You put on your foot early. This
Culture
is what
change,
I
it
want.
change.
Yeah, nobody bigger than the club. I want certain things. And if you can't adhere to these things, you know where the
Then you
door
had to be on
is.
the door. Now we saw the midfield three, right? Of Scott, Fred, and Bruno. Now in the second half, Scott came off for Johnny Van de Beek. Now I don't think that it was an injury. I think that it was a change that Eric, had in his mind to change. Now, like to me, it came across like in the first half, Fred and Scott were playing a little too deep, and we weren't getting that quick turnover of the ball from the defense to the midfield to the forwards. But he took off Scott, brought on Donny, and Fred somehow became a defensive midfielder. And for some miracle, Fred somehow performed admirably as a makeshift defensive midfielder with Donny next to him, pulling the strings, and he had Bruno in front, was just doing whatever he does. So, and with that change, the team moved the ball quicker from defense to attack, and then you saw more goals come. So, I'd ask you, I mean, do you think that the Scott change was on purpose, or was it, or do you think that it was just a matter of getting some minutes in?
Well, well, in the past, if you look at Ajax football, especially when Donny was in his heydays, I should say in Ajax, he is being used as a utility player to get into the box, into the half spaces, right? Where probably the forwards that's supposed to be there, but he come like an extra man or a fox in the box, as you see. When you're looking at the other main players, Donny is a person who sneak in behind you and make
Yeah.
an extra pass. Will be a pass, and prove as a greater threat. So the midfielders that they will have on the opposing teams, they will concentrate on so much of attack because remember you have an extra player in the box. And if you look at all the games that the two games that went there, Manchester United getting more players into the box. And that is the main thing. The more players you have in the box doing these intricate passes in between the lines, they're very dangerous. Because yeah, as I say, all right, they might come up the right side, but the other players looking to fill the other half spaces on the other side of the field to give an option. You understand? That's why they were so particular with recycling the ball. And when they see the opportunity, like when Malasia saw the opportunity, everybody came across on Malasia's side where Marshall was, where Bruno was. So he had the opportunity to switch the play, and he did it with his right foot, although he's a left footer. Pinpoint typical Dalo. It freed up the space. Now, as I say, when Donny came on now, remember Scott don't really get into the box. A few games he will get into the box. Like if we playing against our Leeds and thing, Leeds is one to defend, so they just play open football. So there's had the opportunity. He will have that opportunity then to get in there. But once team organizing defense, the extra man is be very important to upset the balance of the opposing team. There's actually outnumber them in the defense. Unless they really playing a low block where most of our players will be behind in front of the defense.
Mm.
To see, but
Mm.
Donny was a tactical change to see how how he could fill the half spaces, and it worked out very well.
Mm.
You understand? Because Donny is a thinker when playing football.
Yeah.
He's a
Yeah. Yeah.
thinker. He see outside of the box. He
Mm.
see
And to
what.
add to what you're saying that when in the first half when Scott was on, there were many times where we could have benefited from an overload where he had acres of space and Scott would have brought up the ball and he didn't know what to do with it. He
That
Mm.
doesn't
was
have
it.
that tactical ability or awareness to know what to do, what spaces, what half runs, what he doesn't know what to do. He's just there to be a destroyer and just keep recycling the ball.
You
He's
remember
good.
Donny?
He's good at that.
Donny is good at one
So
touch football. You
Mm.
understand?
yeah.
Hit and move, pass
So
and move, and just go.
McTominay, McTominay coming off wasn't by chance. It was a tactical change to give Van der Beek the much needed minutes to prove that he is worthy of staying and to prove
Mm.
that maybe he should be part of the starting, or if not a starter, a definite rotation player every game. Because with
Mm.
the five subs, you're going to
Mm.
have players that going to come off that going to come on every game to give
Mm.
you know
You see,
so Johnny can be one of those players.
yeah, most coaches and thing they will watch to see how the team set up, how the team playing for the first half. And when you have these particular guys like a Christian Eriksen on the bench or Donny Van der Beek on the bench, you could change and tweak your tactics. You understand? So when these guys and them come on, is a different system you're implementing one time, a different, because he had a 45 minutes to analyze the game, how the team
Mm.
playing, how the team setting up, and how where's the purpose. So when he realized certain things, he will go to his bench and say, "Oh, we're making these changes. Inject this man here," and he will be giving him certain instructions what to do and how to do it. And Donny is a person like that because, as I say, Donny wasn't really a starter for Ajax.
Mm.
Yeah, he was a man who used to come on off the bench and change the whole style of the game. You
Right.
understand? He used
Mm.
to do that. You
Mm.
understand? Where he want to overload, he bring on a Donny.
Mm.
Because you remember, yeah, men like Ziyech and all of them bombing down the line and making the intricate passes in between with the Frankie De Jongs and them fellas and them. You know your defense done so up already because you have men like the Lit and them fellas and them in the back. You understand? But that extra man in that box, that is Donny major role. He thought Scott could have be that, but you could see Scott is not that kind of player.
Yeah.
You
Right. But
understand?
you see, what I want to talk about is that second goal by Rashford. It is it was to me it was a very it was a very well made team goal. It was, you saw the plan coming, and the fact that we caught Palace on the break, and it wasn't just a break of chance. It was something that we made for ourselves. Because it was a build a play. It was from Bruno, I believe, to Martial. With that turn, he cut to Sancho because Sancho made a run to pull a defender. He passed to Sancho. Sancho was able to pass the ball back to Donny within the box. And all Donny had to do, he had a chance to shoot, but he saw Rashford in open space in the box. And he made a pass across the goal, and there was Marcus for the easiest goal you could score in his
Now,
in his whole career.
mind you,
Mm,
that entire play,
mm,
I don't know if all notice, but that
mm,
entire play, the build up from from the dispossession all the way to the goal was orchestrated by Van der Beek.
mm,
Yeah.
He
yeah.
was literally pointing. He was
Yeah,
pointing, telling everybody, "Hey, organize all yourself. Point here, point here." So Van der Beek literally proved that the substitution as that they ask about, if it was tactical or if it was just to give a minute, it was a tactical change, and he proved why he's supposed to be on the pitch. Yeah,
Because
especially for that act of selflessness and making that pass to give Rashford an open goal.
Yeah.
That's stellar. That was
don't
stellar.
he, don't he just want to show the man his other teammates how football can be played simple?
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And that again is a team sport. Because at the end of the day, according to you, he was selfless. You understand? He wasn't selfish there, and he could have go for glory as usual. But again, he occupying the spaces where the ball could be. He given his fellow teammate, which was Marshall at the time, receiving the ball back from Sancho, an option. Now Sancho could have go down the line to Donny, the same thing, and he could have squared it across the box. But how Ten Hag has set up his team, everybody is getting involved. Everybody have to be involved, and you have to give the player who on the ball options.
Yeah.
You
Because
understand? He can
like
choose anywhere to go.
mm,
You understand? So as I say, is the system that the other guys, well, minus like Donny, minus Frankie if he come, Ericsson to a point too, because Ericsson was under that Ajax system already, so he understand that football already. So it's just for the rest of them to be on, as I say, on the same wavelength and play as a team and not go for glory, because you see in the past where Rashford would want to just take the ball and do his own thing on the left.
yeah.
Sancho was trying too hard last season to beat the man, to make
Right.
something happen. Bruno, Bruno hit the ground running as in the first instance. You understand? Bruno was successful until teams understand how Bruno is played.
Right.
So that's why last season he looked like he struggled. You understand?
Because
Because they kind
people,
of look him out.
yeah.
But now under this Ten Hag regime now, everybody have a part to play, and it will bring out the football. Want to play that total football, that possession football, moving it through the thirds fast, where there's a 1-2, whether they recycle and go from a different. If you don't have an option, one way, the first way you see it, just recycle the ball. Just keep possession of the ball, and you can go around. They talk about they don't want no back passes and things, but Ten Hag say that if one avenue close off, make the space so you could switch it across, because you see most of the balls today from Maguire, most of them was across the park.
Yeah.
He will more or less be hitting it side to side,
Yeah.
side. But you will see, it will have an instant. He will push forward a bit, get in front of the opposing player, and look across the field to Malacia. You understand? Right through you, he give him Malacia that ball, because he's the open man. Because if they concentrate on one side, the opposing team, it leaves spaces on the wings. That's why he tell Sancho and them stay wide. Give the defenders an option.
And something I saw them doing in the last 3 games that they didn't do often or at all in the entire season last year was in the attacking third, when the ball or the play got broken down by a defender and the defender try to start a play. In about 5 seconds, we say no, my ball still, and start back the play. Normally when we defend and we escort the opposing player down the pitch. That wasn't happening, and that was so refreshing to see.
That is the press. That is the press. But you have to know when to hit the trigger, because sometimes they might not attack the man who now get the ball in. They're looking at the person who is going to pass the ball to, see if they could outnumber him like a 3-1, and dive with the trigger.
So we kept the ball in, not just in our half, but in the final third. And if it do come out if it do play in the creative third, it wasn't there for long because we kept it in the final third
Yeah,
very often.
that is why he want a high defense. Defenders playing high up the
Correct,
pitch,
correct,
close
correct,
off the pitch.
correct.
All you had to play all your football in all your half, you know. That is his thing, you know. All you had to play all your football in all your half. If all you decide to kick it long to a lone striker or whatever it is, I think I have my wing backs who could recover. Or my centre backs who could spread wide and cover for the wing back until he come back.
And even in long passes seem to be a lot more accurate and a lot more productive. Normally, if you play a long ball, even if the player do get it, he's standing up on the ball for too long. It's like playing small goal and hoping to see a man do something. This time when a man play a ball long, he immediately run into a space and pass the ball immediately.
Yeah, that's what he
was
say.
Expecting a man to make a play. So that's very refreshing.
I tell you, just talking about our team, Ajax team, just look how everybody is being moving. And that is what Ten Hag want to these guys and them. It's no static player here. Everybody has to be moving.
That ball watching thing was a very, very, very bad thing that we had last season.
Yeah, well, that is sometimes the English football. That is why Liverpool and Man City will look so good because their players always moving. You understand it? Hard to keep track of them from the time you watch them on one side, you look again, they don't move from behind you already and them gone. You understand? It ain't easy to keep up with them because a moving target is a hard target to hit them. You understand? Yeah. So once you could get that in your gameplay and move, that is why he concentrate mostly on fitness. You can't play that system without being fit. You must be fit. That like 90% of the game day. The rest will come with skills and tactics. You understand? You must be fit. That's why Liverpool look so good. You understand? Liverpool running a team for 90 minutes.
All the time.
You go figure them further them on Duracell. You understand? Another team, the tongue dragging already. They just break down a team, you know. They just break down a team. You understand? So as I say, you have to play as a team, move the ball fast, and constantly run. Run. You know, just constantly run. Plenty running.
Yeah. I have to say good evening to everyone in the comments, you know. And I'll tell you guys, make sure like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, you know. Now, the third goal, I have to say that our third goal, I believe it was I think Darren was saying it was a pass from Lindelof to Martial.
It was a long pass from the back.
Yeah.
It was a long pass from the back.
Now, Martial again showed me why he frustrates me so much as a player. This guy pulled down the ball like prime Berbatov in his day. You know, it was just it was
Simple.
easy, simple. And in fact that Sancho passed his man. You know, like normally the wingers, you know, they will be wide or so on, but he had the wherewithal to understand, you know what, if I continue my run, you know I'll get the ball. And he knew he was gonna get the ball. And if not him, I don't know if you guys saw that Rashford was also wide as well. But Sancho made the run through the middle. And it was one pass. And there was Sancho. And from that point, never once did I ever think that he was going to miss. But the thing is that what I liked again about the goal was that we looked like a football playing team. You know, I know people may say, why we keep saying that for? You know, people may feel as though we are, you know, being a little bit, you know, over thinking and you know, but we all lived through last season. you know, and we all live through these same players doing these same things. And like you said, right, Martial has been playing like a man possessed. You know, like he's playing for his future. I think like he sees this is like my last real dance. You know, because if I don't make it here, because Sevilla didn't really work out that well. You know, so I think as though the man really has made up his mind to really be in the system. You know, but after asking, I mean, what did you guys think of that about it?
Well, that third goal was an excellent team goal. It just shows that once you have a good coach, the sky's the limit. Some of us may question, well, it's the players playing the game. But at the end of the day, the coach is the person that moving the knobs. He telling the players what they need to do when they get the ball, what they need to do when they don't have the ball. So if you don't know what you need to do, then you will literally playing small goal. And that's where you will get licks.
That is proactive football.
Yeah. When you see Sancho making a run before you even get the ball, and then when that ball was passed, it break the line, and it's just Sancho and goalkeeper. These fellas who have no special psychic skills, no telepathy. That's just good, a good system, a good philosophy. He knew what he needed to do before it was done. And that's what we needed. That's what we desperately needed. Yes, no. Not trying to go back too far in the past or throw shade on any of the prior managers, but you're seeing the total different, the dichotomy in the styles and the dichotomy in the philosophies of the prior managers to the manager that we have now. Clearly, this team on paper is one of the best teams that the league has. But we have been underachieving for quite some time because we do not have a good head. Now with a good head, you see these players tapping into their full potential. And that is a very scary thing to see.
Well, I think that only come about because of how Ten Hag structure his gameplay. You understand his little tactics, his techniques, his style. You understand it will suit certain players, right? It will bring out certain players. Now, as I say, Ole's system wasn't bad, but it was more or less a counter-attacking um, um, tactics that he had. He will absorb pressure because if you look at the stats, Manu never used to have much possession unless you're playing against a low block team. As I say, but team for team like a Liverpool, a Tottenham and thing, is counter attack football that they strive on. So when you had to change a whole system overnight, because remember he gets sacked, I think it's November, he gets sacked.
Yeah.
So when you had to change a whole system over for people to gel into our next manager, whether it be interim or whoever, it hard. You understand? And they will look out of sorts until they get like a preseason, like what they get to know. Because all the changes that they change there, they never really get a proper preseason per se, especially with the personnel that from Mourinho or that Mourinho wanted. He ain't get them, he get the youths and thing, and he say he can't work with the youths. We know Mourinho can't work with youths. He want the finished article. You understand? And he'll do his thing. Ole in another sense, the preseason tour he never really get any because of the COVID. You understand? So these fellas and them now getting a proper preseason, a proper coach to work on the style of football that the coach want to implement, and you're seeing it on the field coming out, whether they come out in parts or against opposition that you think that they're supposed to be beaten up, or you make excuses and say don't let the preseason stand. Preseason really stand for nothing, but
my take on that is big Guti, small Guti, same shot. Better I beat them than them beat me.
yeah, you see, it's limited.
You understand? Because we were losing to lesser teams. And everybody was laughing at us. So if we dominating them, that's what we need to do, and that's what we're supposed to do. That's
Exactly.
expected of us. So I not taking no chain from nobody.
Yeah, it's just it's just a case that you want to put your system in place, your style of football, your brand of football, your gameplay. You work on your fitness. That's what preseason for. Preseason is hard work, and you understand. After every game, Ten Hag interviewers they getting a little better, but they're still making plenty mistakes. They didn't understand the triggers of the press. How to move the ball. He's still not seeing it, as I say again, moving it through the thirds. He trying to sew up the defense in such a way. He might start with Maguire and Lindelof for the season opener, or he might start with Maguire and Varane. He will
That
start
is
with
why
Maguire,
he's so
huh?
that is why he's so adamant, and he is so hell bent, and he has his blinders on getting Frankie.
Yeah.
When he gets Frankie, he gets someone who understands the ethos behind his philosophy. He doesn't have to find a way to teach the philosophy to him. He already understands it. Every team needs a core and a spine. All the other parts could always mesh and get it. Once you have your spine down, everything else is
Yeah, well,
just, you understand? So having a man like Martinez in your spine, having a man like Frankie in your spine, having Donny in your spine, having Rashford and them guys, they didn't play with him before, but they seem to get the understanding because they're looking better. It
yeah.
makes everything a whole lot easier
You see the
because we
seeing
need
the
to get
result.
results as soon as possible. Yeah.
They seeing how simply football can be played. And then too, as I say, if Donny come, not Donny, if Frankie come in, he'll be able, Bruno will be able to watch his movements and will play off of his movements and improve his own game because then he will see how actually the system had to play, how Ten Hag philosophy had to play. You understand? Because you seen it right in front of your eye, and they will learn. The other players will learn from it. You understand? They will learn from it.
Very
So
much. Like
that is
Dane
what.
says here, the manager seems to have total control,
Yeah, he
and that's
telling them
correct.
from up front. You understand? It's my way or the highway. You
Yeah.
understand? This
These
is what
guys these guys understand that this this brand and this time at the club, this era at the club here now is a different era. Is a ship up or ship out. There's not pat on the back. There's not a well you'll get next time era. This is a
No.
get it done. We are being paid handsomely to do what you're doing. Get it done. If we can't get it done, we will find a person to get it done. And he said that in an interview. You understand? We need to get the right player, and if we don't have the right player, we'll work with what we have. And if after working what we have, we'll go and find the right player. So
Yeah.
it's either you be the right player or you're
Oh
not the
yeah.
right player. So what you wanna do? And I mean everybody wanna be a part of history. Everybody
Right.
wanna be immortalized. Everybody wanna
Yeah.
be part of something great. So they would play the heart and soul, invest everything, every fiber they be in. I sure when they're sleeping out, they're watching it play in the mind. You understand? Because they know that they have to get it done. And that is
Right.
just what it is. We need to stop making all these excuses. Because every one of us, when we go to our jobs, we are expected to get it done.
yeah,
You understand?
find a
But
way.
we are not paid half as much as these guys.
No.
These guys just have to get it done.
It's half you
Get
saying,
it
and
done.
I
Not
share
even that.
1%.
Get it done.
Yeah.
Get it done.
Not
That is
even
just it.
that. Not even that. Not even
Yeah.
that. Not even that. But I'll talk about the second half. Well, mainly when we made the subs. Well, we brought in the youths and so on, and more of the bench players. Now, I saw it was a very clear drop off from our guy from our first team to the second team, and reserves. It's a very very clear drop off, and that showed also in the goal. Because again we again conceded from a set play, and it was a very weak header. Now one could say, yes, we had the youths they were in defense, yes, and maybe they couldn't really, I guess, deal with more seasoned professionals. But I have seen in the first few games, every time we bring on the except in the first game, I think in the first game against Liverpool, those guys really performed well. But in the other two games, you saw the very clear drop off. Now, what I want to ask you is, how do we? Well, one, are you worried about the drop off from the first team, the second team? And also two, how can we stop those very basic defensive errors? How can we actually take that out of the team?
The drop. Oh yeah, go ahead. That?
I know he wasn't on the pitch when that goal scored, but for one, just kidding. No, I don't think that would be a major issue. Honestly, I don't think that would be a major issue going into the next season.
Yeah.
Because with the system that Ten Hag plays and the defenders that we have now, I see a lot of the players understanding, a lot of the defenders understanding their responsibility and getting it done in a more efficient manner. That goal that scored, I mean, it's like almost 11 fresh players. And those young players who were defending, they clearly showing a glimpse of what was United last season. And when you watch even Maguire, I know I have been on record multiple times defaming Maguire, and I've been on record supporting Maguire. Well, if it's one thing I can guarantee you, I could close my eyes and bet my bottom dollar, Maguire is going to win an aerial duel. If Maguire on the pitch, that goal wasn't going unscored that easily. You understand? Ward was not winning that header with Maguire. Where Maguire had it would have been the problem because Maguire have a tendency at trying to head a ball backwards, not seeing who behind him.
Yeah, let me tell you something with Maguire. Maguire is a person, he'll be late on the charge. He's always get most of the headers that opposing teams get. If you look back at any kind of footage, Maguire always second. He always second. He never first.
He actually wins the most aerial duel. He wins like the second most aerial duels in the league.
That is when the ball coming straight at him. You understand? But if he have to meet a ball, see like how Cristiano Ronaldo will go and meet a ball, he's slower for the blocks. He's always second best. You always see him trying to wrap up underneath a player and pushing his head. He just push his head while because he's slower for the blocks. He's not watching the flight of the ball. That is my observation. And it's the same thing with Telles because you saw David De Gea signaling to the defense in front. Watch Ward. Watch the tall man there.
Yeah. And no Telles need to be sold though. Either that or you need to stop playing football.
You will understand what going. He get emotion, He get emoted.
Yeah.
He get emoted.
He get emoted as centre half. He's as a left-sided centre half.
Yeah, he was.
So he's not going to play this season. And if he does play, it's because everybody won. He basically washing wares.
Yeah. Because as I say, I am Martinez inside of there. You understand? And it was just
you're not better than Malacia for sure.
No.
And no pun intended, they ain't better than Shaw. For sure.
No. So, no.
When they want to play in a cup game, maybe.
Probably. Carabao Cup.
Gave him all that last run out there,
You're definitely not playing in my Europa League team.
No.
Yeah. Well, as I say, Ten Hag just trying things there, but he don't know he's starting 11 already. For the first two games, I sure that is if Martinez and really hit the ground running, it could be either Lindelof and a fit Varane or Lindelof and a Maguire. That is why the last two games
they said to have pairing I see in as Maguire and Martinez.
Yes, but you have to understand Martinez and really play against no English opposition. You see that if Martinez was training like last week and play against Crystal Palace, he can get a feel for the English style of football from the opposition teams, right?
Yeah.
He coming back, he will be there to only play against the European teams that they are accustomed playing against.
Now,
Understand?
I do think, right?
Now, I
It is
think in the earlies, he may not start, and then
But I was
eventually he'll
saying-
be integrated into the team, and then
That
he's
is-
going to replace one of the
But
centre halves and end the
that is
season.
what I'm saying. So that is why Ten Hag to me it looked like he played Lindelof and Maguire as the starting duo for the starting of the season because you know Martinez may not be ready. He may not be ready. You understand? Because you can't just throw in a man who come from a different league, a different pace at the game. You understand? Because the English is not an easy league to come in just so
No.
and boss.
No.
You understand? They make big players look small until they get the rhythm.
I don't know about you, but this is what I feel. I believe that Martinez will at least start in our game on the weekend. I think he will get announced probably tomorrow. And I think our game on the weekend, he'll be on the bench.
No, he
And
can't play. That is the last
He's
game in
training with
Australia.
Ericsson.
That is the
Right.
last
Training
game in
with
Australia.
Ericsson.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. I feel he will get his first one out in the game on the weekend.
No,
I think so. I think he will.
that game is still in Australia. He will
Which one
get
is
to
that?
run out against Atletico Madrid or the other Spanish team.
No, I mean in Villa on
Yeah.
Saturday. Yeah. That's what
Aston
I'm
Villa
saying,
is
yeah.
Saturday, but
Yeah.
Aston Villa is in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys not coming out to Australia. Ten Hag say so. It don't make
Okay.
sense for them to come across because they gotta adjust the flight time alone is almost 2 days. They have to take the flight over there now.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And then for them have to
That's
acclimatize.
nothing, man.
No, they
You're
won't have time.
afraid. You're
Nah, he
afraid
said
that
that
If that was
Pay
the
the
case,
they
he would
will
have been
feature
with
in
the team already.
Manchester. In the last 2 games, they will feature in the last 2 games.
show them two guys on a private jet. That's not luxury.
Now you don't want to kill them before they start, brother. That man's secret weapons,
Mm.
especially the bulldog, the butcher. You know? Don't forget
Yeah,
the
the
butcher. That's
butcher.
all, man.
I do agree with you. I do think that he will feature in that game against Atletico Madrid. I do think so. I think he and Ericsson will be in that game.
Yeah,
And yeah, but
because it's back in England.
Mhm. But
Our next game is when?
Saturday against Aston Villa.
Yeah.
I don't know what time. I don't know if it's in the morning or it could be after lunch, like the first game against
No,
Liverpool.
that is really that's like after 5 in the morning.
Oh, after 5 too. All right.
Yeah, in the morning. Yeah.
10 o'clock
But-
English time.
I'm just saying, don't be surprised because if it was me, I would have put them for players, on our private jets, air condition. You eat caviar across the road. You get massage across the road. You just show up and you play a ball.
Yeah, them fella them sign on the dotted line yet. There's only Ericsson sign on the dotted line, and
I
you want to
don't
put
say.
hard through all of that traveling, brother. You understand? You want to put hard through all that traveling. Let me save him for when the season starts.
Oh,
You understand? And Martinez
Yeah.
still ain't get is a visa yet. The
Nah,
travel
man.
clause is it. So
Nah, you don't-
they go
Just-
bring them or they go unveil them for the games on them next week. Next
Yeah,
week,
Saturday, 5:45.
Yeah,
5:45. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, early game. Early game
know.
again.
Now,
And then next,
go ahead.
I have
and
a
then the
question for
following
Darren.
Saturday.
I have a question for Darren. Now, some of the media reporters, the traveling supporters and things who covering the tour and stuff, they were seeing that how Sancho, Martial and Rashford forming a formidable front three. What going on with your boy if he decide to stay? CR7.
CR?
Yeah.
Well,
I know that your boy.
that
Yeah,
was
come
right.
on.
That was my next question. You know,
Oh,
I mean, surprisingly,
sorry
you know,
for
I mean,
sorry for jumping the gun.
it's a good thing, 'cause, you save me the transitioner. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, the question is, I mean, we have our front three, you know, if he does stay, I mean, how does he fit in? How could he fit in?
Right. Now, let's be real here. If he does not go to our next team, he's still under contract. Whether he likes it or not, he has to play. And
Mm,
if we realize that we have a front three that's gelling, and we is a World Cup year, and we have 5 subs, and teams coming up, we need to have rotation. So some games he's going to start, and some games you have to come off the bench, and that's
mm,
just simply how it's going to be.
mm,
Unfortunately, he's not here for the preseason, but he's a professional. And Ten Hag said in a report that he trusts that Ronaldo is a top professional, and a preseason isn't necessary for a man like him. So,
mm,
I mean, he 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 has his personal feelings and is being on demonstration for the world to see. He has his
mm,
personal feelings about the team and he wants to leave. Everybody's seeing that. But if he doesn't leave, he's a professional. And at the end of the
mm,
day, looking good on the pitch is all that matters to Ronaldo. So
mm,
whatever the manager wants him to do, he will get it done. And even if he's
mm,
upset, then that's a Ronaldo problem, not a Manchester United problem.
yeah.
If the
Mm,
manager tell you you're playing, and the thing about it is the managers prior to Ten Hag isn't as dominant as a
no.
manager. You understand?
Mm, mm, mm,
Yeah.
Ole was his former teammate. Rangnick hasn't coached that team in ages. Rangnick is a man always upstairs. Ten
But you
Hag,
can't
Ten
talk
Hag is the current Eredivisie champion. He's the coach of that team. He could say, "Hey, I want this, I want that," and you have to. Ronaldo had to respect the man, even though he is as great as he is. You understand? And I think Ronaldo understands that, and he would do what is asked of him for the sake of the team. Because at the end of the day, when the team look good, he will look good by extension as well. And once he
mm,
gets an opportunity to play, I think he should be okay. That's just the way
mm.
I see it.
let me hope he ain't give you a next tantrum again, like how you show disrespect to Ragnick for taking him off as a tactical move. You
No.
understand?
Now,
So
He
I
can't do Ten Hag that. Because Ten
nah.
Hag don't let him know from the jump. Ten Hag don't
that's
let
what
him
I
know from the
say.
jump. You wasn't really a big part of my plans, And then I don't know, like we can't and the change his tongue. So
Mm,
Cristiano know that this man ain't really looking at you with no starstruck. No, he's
no,
not
no.
starstruck. You
Mm,
understand? You just another
mm,
player. You do what
Ten
I
Hag,
want, and I see my plans now. Let me get this done. He
yeah,
even
Ten
told him
Hag
that
not on
he
the
could skip
circus.
past. Yeah. Ten Hag is in
Ten
charge
Hag
of
is
the
a
sick, of
straight
course.
shooter, a straight talker,
Yeah,
You
yeah.
understand? This is what it
mm.
is. You
Yeah.
understand? We don't
No.
like it.
I mean, everyone here knows, right? I am, I have my biases, for Ronaldo. I mean, I have my jersey right there, you know. I do, but I mean, I would say this. I mean, if he does stay, and I think that he would because of whatever is going on, I do think that the guy did he did want what was best for the team. He just didn't do it in the most correct way. He did it in his way because now again, I always say this: we brought Ronaldo knowing fully well who he was. The world knew who he was, So I don't know why people are surprised, that he is acting the way how he's acting, but I do believe that if he does come back in this, I think in this system, he will, like you said, he will be professional and he will do his job. I think in this system, he will take instructions. I think he would know, okay, today I'm going to start, tomorrow on the bench, next day I'm not playing. Because it's very similar to how Zidane had him in Real Madrid, not playing every game. I think Ten Hag
Exactly.
will have him the same way. And
No,
I,
sorry,
go ahead.
go ahead.
Mhm.
No,
Yeah,
I
I
was
mean,
just going to add. I just want
mhm,
to add. Contrary to popular opinion, Ronaldo is not just a scorer. Ronaldo has a lot of assists in his game and a lot of chance creation where players fouled up. There's a whole compilation of passes that Ronaldo gave to Bruno, especially, and other players, and they did nothing with it last season.
Correct.
So with that in mind, if he realized that this team as a collective is a whole lot better than the team that he was playing with last season, I don't see why assists would not be a big part of his game also going into this season. And he's getting older. I'm sure he understands that scoring isn't the only part of his game. And he was passing last season, and he realized they wasn't getting it done. And he could literally see the frustration because he didn't hold it back. He literally was visibly frustrated when he made a good pass and he didn't score. So I could see him still integrating into this team. That's just my take on it.
Yeah.
But I think he needs some sessions with the team, how they play now, on that for the general fans to believe that he really wants to be here and that he can really play in Ten Hag's system, because as the media have it, the pundits have it, how he will cope, especially his age. Well, the argument with his fitness, that out the door, because he's a fitness freak.
Yeah.
As we see, that is not an issue because you're running like a 28-year-old, a 37-year-old man in football. Because he's an old man in football.
Yeah.
It's just the ego and the style of play, because remember, Cristiano accustomed to a certain type of style of play with other past teams, right? Where he's the main man. You understand? You ain't seen that kind of tiki-taka football with he. It's bare pace. A man might go down the line, cross the ball to Cristiano, or the midfield, come through the midfield lines and go through the lines to Cristiano. Now look to shoot and score, because he's a goal scorer. You understand? So this system is totally different. Cristiano never played a system like that. You understand? So you have to see how he will adapt. And I think he not being part of the pre-season
right now,
it kind of bad, because as I say, you had to convince the fans. Ten Hag know what he have in Cristiano Ronaldo. He know what he have. But as if he could fit into the system and make it flow like how it's flowing presently right now with the 3 forwards that we have now. You understand? He glad that Cristiano Ronaldo probably changed his mind about leaving, and looking for Champions League football. But still, he had to prove that he could work within Ten Hag's system. You understand? And the fans will be on board to see if he really could adapt. And that might be the issue with CR7.
But I think if anybody could get him, I guess, in the system, I think similarly to how Eric was able to work with other players. I mean, I will always talk about Harry and his big head, but I have seen some kind of improvement. I have seen a little bit of improvement with Love. I have seen improvement with Dalot. So correct. I think with a man of Ronaldo's talent and his mindset, because remember, right, there shouldn't be a problem, because remember, his mindset would be that of be working, and he will stay there.
That's what I said.
If it had to be whole day and whole night, he will work and work, because he understands I have to be in the team, and if it takes for me to break my back for this guy, he will do it. Because his mindset, is that
if he doesn't get a move and as United he's in, he's going to play. He wants to play. He's thirsty. He's not a kind of player to sulk. He have a point to prove. He have a chip on his shoulder. If it means him winning Europa to prove he win 2 European titles, that is where it will be.
Yeah, but who you go sacrifice? Who Ten Hag go sacrifice?
No, see,
it's not a matter of sacrifice. It's a matter of rotation to occur. Martial cannot play 38 games in the league.
No.
You understand?
But we know that.
No.
We know that.
So it's not a matter of sacrificing.
Because
I'm observing something. I'm observing something similarly to when you had Rooney, Tevez, and Ronaldo. You can have the same front line with Ronaldo now. These guys could always interchange. Ronaldo used to play out wide. Martial could be on the pitch with him at the same time. All these things could happen. You understand? So it don't necessarily always have to be a sacrifice.
Yeah, because at one point in time back in the days under Sir Alex Ferguson, he had 4 strikers on the field. At one point in time, everybody looking the squad. Not everybody could start. You understand? But according to the great Ole, the legend, he say, once I get my opportunity, I'll take it. Whether it's for 10, 15 minutes, I had to do something with it. Because the coach ready for me to go on there, do something, be a game changer. That's what we need, game changer.
A man like Ronaldo would definitely, at a bare minimum, get half an hour. Half an hour is enough time to do something significant. I don't think Ronaldo is going to come on with 10 minutes to go. Come on.
No.
Do you think he go out if he start and he get taken off like what he do against Ralph?
I don't think so. I can't say with a degree of certainty, but I don't think he would do that, especially in light, as I keep saying, the World Cup year.
World Cup year. But he's a starter regardless. He's
37. He needs to save some legs for the World Cup too. You don't think he's thinking about that too? Well, he's aware of that.
Oh, I thought you mean not hardly playing, you wouldn't get selected, but I know he's a starter. He's the captain.
Come on. So even if he get a little bit of minutes in the beginning of the season to preserve himself for World Cup, you understand? Allow and men like Ilanga and those guys to get a little more sweat, and he's still coming on for half an hour. Maybe start about 5 games in that period. You understand? Come off after 60, and the other games he could come on for half an hour. He's saving some of his legs, so when he go for the World Cup, and then in the second half of the season, then we going balls to the wall. You understand?
I ain't seen him in the Europa League really, because that
you don't think he will sweat in Europa at all?
Nah, he will play.
That beneath him. That beneath him. He don't want that kind of shine up. Yeah,
but if he win it, he's gonna get a medal, right? So he's still gonna be a Europa League winner, right?
Yeah, we know that. But Cristiano Ronaldo and Europa, they don't go hand in hand. They don't song nice thing.
No.
One of the most arrogant persons. One of the most. I would say arrogant, but I know it's not arrogance. But for the most people, they would call it arrogance. One of the most arrogant, controversial, egotistical persons that we know that was at the club was actually our manager and our player, Jose Mourinho. He was in Europa. He played Europa. He managed the team and he win. If I in it, I want to win it. And that's the mark of a true champion.
He actually sacrificed 4th place to win the Europa, because he was resting starters in the Premier League, like the Valencias and them to make sure they had the legs for
any top professional. Any top professional look Ibrahimovic. I mean, he never really make a Champions League final, but he played. That's the competition my team in. I want to win it.
Yeah.
You understand?
And they won.
And from the way how Europa has been going in the past 5 years, the caliber teams that has been in Europa League not as bad as we think it is. The competition in Europa has increased. Even Barcelona was in Europa League last season. Chelsea has won it twice. So the competition in Europa, winning Europa League is somewhat respectable now. Maybe
because they're getting a direct entry into the Champions League. That is why they're playing the concentration on playing it so hard. But before, teams really wasn't studying to reach there because
nobody level of competition increasing.
Because of the opportunity the backdoor pass. Because of the
Exactly.
backdoor pass.
Mhm.
You know, the team that ain't looking so good in look like what team it was that qualified that end up in the Champions League, but they place about seventh or eighth in the league, in the home league. That
Mhm.
just they just replace a position up on top that men fighting for fourth spot. They get demoted. That end up in Europa League because a team that plays seventh in a league in Champions League, that is
Yeah.
Yeah, but
embarrassment.
we also have to remember also teams that finished third in the group stage coming in Europa too. So all
Right.
these teams who qualify for Champions League now will be Europa League teams. So that was it. The competition in Europa not as bad as we try to make it out to be. You
Yeah.
understand?
Mhm.
See the comments.
Yeah.
See
Thursday,
what I
man.
say. See what I say. I've been the CR7 boy. He ain't getting that kind of spotlight eh,
No,
until
nah,
it
but
returns to
yeah.
semi-final.
Nah, but I think even if he does stay, I think with Eric at the helm right now, I think he will make it work,
Well,
and
well,
Eric will make it work, or
yeah,
else
well,
he knows that he is out the door.
yeah,
You
well, man,
know
you going on and activate the final year too, you know. So
exactly.
at least whoever coming for him, that'll pay
Hmm.
money for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he ain't going on no free.
Hmm.
Because once he start the season and go until January, because remember it have international break just before the World Cup and then the break for World Cup.
Yeah.
So the other teams outside there waiting on that January to hit him, so they
Exactly.
could pull him for free. Because
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
Eric even offered to give him an next contract
yeah,
Right.
that was
to
saying
go
no, but
past this final year.
Right.
yeah,
So
but
that
Manchester United have the 1 year extension that they could
right.
activate,
So
and he's
again,
going to
No,
we
activate
have
it.
to
which is
say.
this
I
season
mean,
here. Which
right.
is this season here. I'm talking about after this season here.
Yeah, next
They
season.
want to give him
No,
an I want to go on.
it's a 2 year contract he's signing now. Not
Right.
one with a one to extend in a 2 year contract he signed with a
Mm.
further year to activate. That's why they say they're looking to activate it now. You understand? Before the
Okay.
season start or as the season start.
Mm.
So it will come like he actually have 2 more years on
Yeah.
his contract.
Mm.
Last time I checked, I thought it was a 1 year with an extra year.
Nah, nah,
Text then.
that nah. That was Cavani. That
Mm.
was Cavani.
Okay.
Cavani
Yeah.
get the one
Well, I stand
with the
corrected.
1 year to
Well,
activate and they asked him if he wanted to stay and they activated. That's why he was
well,
there last season.
I will say one thing. I mean, if it is that Eric does see value in him, and we have to trust in the manager, then we all have to trust in the manager.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
trust him.
and if he sees something that he can offer, then I say we will just have to have to wait and see, and and it can't help. It can't do nothing except help because it's a wonderful thing to be in a game and you're 1-all and you have 60 minutes left. And who do you see coming on the field? Ronaldo. I mean that by itself to me, yeah, especially with the fact that we have such a big gap between our first team and our second team. I cannot see any downside to that. I really can't.
And I think
I
the
True,
really
eh?
supporters how he did it in Portis where he announced it before the preseason actually started. Some fans think that he not loyal no more. You understand? And to me, that looked like disloyalty. Yeah, in a sense. I'm speaking because you could have said that before. Hey, boss, I want to be on this train. Let Manu decide what to do with him early. But don't just bust it on them before the tour start.
Now
That
he
bad.
what where he went wrong is that he said that he wants to honor his contract. he said on multiple occasions he's going to honor his contract. He said he want to make United great again, and then coming down closer to the tour. Now you want to leave. I mean, it looked bad. It looked like you find out something and it being petulant. Yeah, like you find out something and like we're here. So yeah, just being petulant about it.
That's why the fans up in arms and will say he's not loyal. He's not loyal to the badge. He just talking that talk and more or less about himself, his self-image. You understand? Oh, Cristiano.
I don't know why people are surprised that he's worried about his self-image. I mean,
well, why are you so worried about your image? Why are you coming back Manchester United?
But
if you know the kind of caliber, but you're seeing the kind of caliber players, you're seeing the results. You understand? You know, from the time we make it in that top 4, you supposed to try and bow out quietly. See if you can get a suitor for next to nothing. But as I say, he's a cash cow. He can still sell jerseys. You understand? He can still sell jerseys. And to see him at Ten Hag system, that's what everybody wants to see, you know.
But I will say one last thing before you go, right? About this whole Ronaldo and thing. Now, I do think personally, if we do get De Jong inside, we have this Andrew there, and we keep Ronaldo. I'm telling you like this, I am saying this to all Manchester fans, you and everyone in the comments. When Ronaldo scores his first goal, I want to see who is not gonna jump and say Sue. I want to see who won't do it, because we so dumb as fans. We will sing before Ronaldo. You know that. We will go and we will buy the jersey because we love the man. We love the club. We can't help it. We as fans, we can't help it. We can't help. It's just the man. Some people think no, it's the. It's just the. We can't help it, man. We can't help it.
I want to see his attitude. I want to see his demeanor. Once he comes back in, I want to see his demeanor with the other players and things, because as I say, behind the closed door, they were saying that he was the problem. You understand? They say other players wasn't getting chance to shine and do the thing. You understand? It had the infighting right on the field, a play. Who we want to pass to who and this and that. But as I say, it's a clean slate with Erik ten Hag. Everybody on a clean slate. So let me see the attitude.
He was simply demanding more out of the players, more they wasn't willing to give. So now that they are willing to give more, I think it will work. It will be a match made in heaven now.
Well, as I say, it's yet to be seen. You understand? Because from the last impression, he wanted to do his own thing.
Yeah.
You understand? And he'll be kind of like annoyed when he can get things his way.
Yeah.
When he's not the focal point.
I mean, he's arguably the greatest footballer. I think he could get a leeway, man.
Yeah. But honestly, right?
That's the whole thing. If you have a man like Erik ten Hag,
man
ain't getting no leeway because of the name. He said that already.
Yeah.
You understand? If you're not with my system, I don't care who you are.
Yeah, well, I mean, I understand that.
And I don't think how the team running now and looking, based on the first few games, how they're looking impressive. If they look impressive and they're winning games, I think the fans ain't going to go against the CR7 fans. If he is to act up, I don't think they will go against Ten Hag. You understand? So Ten Hag has something to prove too. That he change our style of football and make us look attractive. Even if we didn't win the first few games, but we must look like we know what we're doing.
No, but I mean, I would say, if it's one thing we have to do as fans, that we have to stand behind the manager. I mean, we are seeing the first set of flowers, from the tree. So I think the fruits will bear eventually. Because you're seeing you're seeing that the guys are buying into the system. You're seeing real football. You know what I mean? So I think with whoever comes, be it De Jong or Ronaldo's or whoever else, I think the team itself would function as one. Especially with Eric at the helm, he will have those guys singing from the same hymn book. You know, so that is something I'm quietly optimistic about that. I mean, I at least believe that he will have the guys playing as one. You know, no matter who is in the team or not. I just think so. I think so. I think so. You know, but I have to say, guys, this was a wonderful show. I have to thank everyone in the chat. Big up to Phil and Grell and Shad and Kurt, and to everyone. Make sure you continue to like the videos, share the videos, subscribe to the channel, and thanks to Darren for being on, and thanks to Alan, for coming on the show today, and I will say, like we always end every show, Red Devils, we don't die, we multiply.
You multiply.
Good night, everyone.
Yeah, good night. Good night.